Hello everyone, hope you all are doing great. This video is about making your own Google Home using NodeMCU and Google Assistant in your phone. Hey Google, turn on red light.
Turning on red light.
To build one like you saw in the video, we need a NodeMCU, a cable to connect it with the computer, of course a breadboard, and 3 LEDs and few wires and a smartphone. So this is about controlling devices with voice commands over the internet. Over the internet means if there is any device connected to internet anywhere in the globe, you can control them using this cool technology. For the time being, I am going to control these 3 LEDs with my Google Assistant in my phone. So to get a clear idea of the project, about the working, I am going to put up a small simple diagram in here. So we have a NodeMCU with us, where we are going to connect our LEDs. So literally we are going to connect LEDs, control LEDs. You can connect any device into it to control it. And we are planning to control these LEDs with our Google Assistant in our phone. So in order to do that, we need help from this guy called Blynk. So I'm drawing it in a cloud, and we need one more guy which is called Ifttt. This Blynk platform is used to control devices like NodeMCUs over the internet. There are lots and lots of devices supported by Blynk. So if we configure some NodeMCU's information on the Blynk platform, and if we configure some information about Blynk platform in the NodeMCU, they can communicate each other. Meaning with Blynk platform I can control these LEDs which is connected to NodeMCU. That is what Blynk platform do. So through Blynk platform I can connect these LEDs. I can turn them on, turn them off, but that is not what we want to do. What we want to do is we want to control these LEDs with our Google Assistant in our phone. This is our phone. Okay. So in order to do that, we need a guy called Ifttt. What does this guy do is, we have to configure some information in this platform about Blynk and Assistant. So when we configure this, what will happen is when I say let's turn on red LED, this Google Assistant is going to communicate with Ifttt. And this Ifttt can give information to Blynk to turn on this red LED, so that this red LED can turn on. So literally this one is connecting our assistant and Blynk, so it's like an intermediator. So I have to configure this Ifttt and Blynk in order to get it done. So this is a basic idea of our project. Okay, when I say turn on red LED, assistant is going to communicate with Ifttt. In Ifttt we have configured everything so that whenever I say that, this Ifttt is going to communicate with Blynk, so that Blynk can control this LED in the NodeMCU. So this is the whole basic idea of our project. Blynk is a great tool for IoT applications. We can do a lot of projects related to IoT using Blynk platform. In order to start with Blynk, we will need 3 main things. The first thing is a mobile platform. It can be either Android or iOS, but for this particular project I'm going to use Android only because Siri in iPhone is not going to support this feature. So I'm going to use my Google Assistant in my Android phone. And the next thing you want is an IoT hardware. So in this particular project I'm going to use NodeMCU as an IoT hardware. There are lots and lots of other IoT hardware supported by Blynk application or Blynk platform. You can check it in their website or the app. We'll be doing it eventually. And the third thing we need to have to start with the Blynk is an internet connection. Obviously without an internet connection we cannot connect anything to anywhere. NodeMCU is another cool electronic programmable board. Similar to Arduino board, it has digital pins, analog pins, power pins like 3.3 volt, ground and all, and it has RX, TX, all the pins that we can see in an Arduino board. And the connectivity is a little different. We have to use a micro USB cable, something like this. Micro USB cable to connect it with the computer. And in order to do the programming part, we can use the same IDE that we are using for Arduino boards. So there is no problem in that case. And another major difference from Arduino that I want to note is it has an inbuilt Wi-Fi. So that I can easily connect it to a Wi-Fi modem or a hotspot, and I can get connected to the internet with NodeMCU. Hope you got an idea from the block diagram. So now let's set up the Blynk platform first. Then we will go into the NodeMCU programming part. So this is my home screen. I'm going to Play Store. There's a mobile Android app available. So I'm searching for Blynk. So you will get it. The spelling is BLYNK. IoT for Arduino, ESP like that. So you can install it. I already installed it, that is why it's showing uninstall and open option. So if you don't have the app, install it. I'm setting up everything from my Android mobile itself, not from the web platform, okay, or not in the PC. So I'm opening my app. This is an Android app, okay. So this is the first screen you are going to get when you open the Blynk app for the first time. So here you have to create an account. You can log in with the Facebook also. So I'm choosing create new account. So in here we have to give a valid email ID. This is little important because the app is going to send a authentication code to the email ID. We can access the authentication code in the app itself, but I think it's a little important to give a valid email ID. So I'm giving my email ID, which is this, and I'm going to give a password like Srishti. So this is my setup. So I'm signing up. So they have something. Each widget needs energy to operate. When you delete a widget, energy is returned. Okay, they're showing something. I think it's not that important, so cool, got it. So this is the main page when you log in, when you sign up. So there are main three options like new projects, my apps and community. So what we need to do is we have to create a new project. So I'm not going to talk about these my apps and community. So new project, I'm tapping on new project. So in new project you have to give a project name. I'm giving like Google Home, since that is my project. And the next option is choose device. So it is written like ESP8266. That is not our hardware we are using for this project. We are using NodeMCU. So I'm tapping on that arrow, down arrow. So when I tap on the down arrow, I'm getting lots of hardware supported by Blynk platform. You can see a lot of hardwares. So I'm going to search for NodeMCU. So here is it, NodeMCU. I'm choosing that one. And then there is an extra third option like connection type. How are you going to connect it to the internet? So I'm choosing Wi-Fi. If you tap on it, you can see options like Ethernet, Wi-Fi, USB, GSM and all. I'm choosing Wi-Fi. And the next option is theme. You can choose either light or dark theme. So I'm choosing light for the time being. So tap on create, then they'll create it. Now they have send an authentication code to my email ID. Okay, you can also find it in project settings. So even if you're not opening the email, it's okay, we can find it in the project setting. So I'm tapping OK. So this is the account we have created. This is the project we have created in our account. Like this, you can create multiple projects in the same account. So now what I'm going to do is I need to set up few things, like I have connected 3 LEDs to my NodeMCU. So I have to set up like 3 buttons in order to turn on those LEDs. So for that we need a widget. There is something called widgets in this. So this is actually on the top bar, you can see 3 main options. Like this one is project settings. Okay, you have a lot of settings here, we'll talk about later, I guess. And the next one is the widget box. So you can choose any widgets you want. It depends on the project. So if you want to create, if you want to control 3 LEDs, I think we can choose button widget. Okay, so this is a widget I have just chosen. Now I'm going to tap on that widget. Now I have the settings. The first field is written as button. If you want to give a custom name for the button, suppose if this button is for controlling red LED, I can give it a name like red LED. If you want to give it like red LED, you can give it like that. Then the next option is output pin 01. Okay, if you tap on that pin, you will get options like digital, analog and virtual. So in the NodeMCU, we have connected 3 LEDs to 3 digital pins. It was like D0, D1, D2. And my green LED was connected to D0, yellow LED was connected to D1, and red LED was connected to D2. So since I have named it red LED, I am choosing my D2 pin like this and tap on OK. So this is now D2 pin. Previously it was written like pin. And this one is like 0 to 1, meaning when you tap on the switch, it will go from 0 to 1. That means it's like turning on. Okay, that's it. Then you can select the mode of the button. If you want a push option or a switch option, I think I'll choose the switch option because that is much better. Push option is like you have to keep pressing on it if you want to turn it on. Okay, so I'll go for a switch option because I want to just switch it on and switch it off. So that's it. Then on off labels also you can change. When you tap on it, it is going to show like off if it is in the off stage, and it's going to show like on in the on stage. So if you want to change the on label, you can change it to anything. I'm not going to change it right now. The next option is related to design, which is font size and text and all. I'm not changing all those things. These are the changes I have made. I have named the button like red LED. I have chosen output pin as D2 because my red LED is connected to D2, and mode as switch, not the push one. If you want push also, I think there is no problem, but it's better to keep switch in this case. And these labels, all these things I'm not changing. So if you're interested, you can try changing it. So I'm going back to my button. Now the name has changed to red LED and it's showing D2. Okay, so I'm going to add another widget. In the similar way, I can add 2 more widgets to control my green and yellow LED. So I have created 3 buttons for 3 LEDs. So this is it, nothing else to do in this. I'm going to show you how to see the authentication token. This is the settings of my project setting. You can see the name and all. So when you go down, now if you choose this devices, Google Home, NodeMCU, this is your authentication code. Okay, so if you want to get it, again I'm going to show you that go to Google project settings, and there is something called devices. Choose that, and my device, choose your device again. Then you can see hardware model, connection type, and authentication code. Okay, if you want to copy it, I guess when you tap on it, you can see the notification here. See, token copied to the clipboard. Now you can paste it somewhere and you can see the full token. Now it is not showing the full token. You can paste it somewhere in your mobile phone, in any text editor or something. Then you will get the full authentication code. That is really very important. We need to use it in many places. So I'm going back. So this is it. Now this is in the edit mode. Okay, now we have to change it into the play mode in order to control the LEDs. So in order to change it to the play mode, this is the button on the top right corner. You can see a triangle button. This button, when you tap on this button, it is now in the play mode. Now you can see 3 buttons. Okay, when I tap on the first button, now it is showing on, now it is showing off. So like this I can control my LEDs. Now I didn't configure anything in my NodeMCU, so nothing is going to happen. So if you look into this icon, like top right, you can see a controller board kind of button there, and it's showing a alert. So when I tap on that, it's showing Google Home wasn't online yet. That means my NodeMCU, my hardware, which is connected to this Blynk, which should be connected to this Blynk platform, is not online. Actually, we didn't power it, we didn't configure it. That is why it is not online. So when I power the NodeMCU and I program the NodeMCU, and when I connect it to the internet, it will get connected to the Blynk platform. At that time, this notification won't be there. Okay, now it is not connected to the Blynk platform. My hardware is not connected to the Blynk platform. That is why it is showing like this. Okay, let's do the circuit. So I have my NodeMCU, a breadboard, few wires to connect all the things, and 3 LEDs. So let me plug the NodeMCU first. That's it. Now I'm going to plug my 3 LEDs. I have one red, one yellow, one green. So let's connect it in this way. Now let's wire everything. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect all my negative to a common rail, and from there I'm going to connect a wire to my ground pin. I have 3 ground pin in here, one here, you can see it, one here and one here. I'm going to connect a wire to this ground. So let's make the common rail and connect that common rail to this ground wire. That's it. Now I'm going to connect all my positive to digital pins of my NodeMCU. Just like Arduino, we have few digital pins here, and there is only one analog pin in NodeMCU. If you look into the board, you will understand that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire all my positive to D0, D1, D2. That is, my green should go to D0, yellow to D1, and red to D2. So that's the connection part. Now what we have to do is we have to do the software part. So I have a cable to connect this NodeMCU to my computer, and I can do the programming part. So we have our setup. So I have connected a USB cable with my NodeMCU. Now I'm going to connect it with my laptop. So we have our Arduino IDE, then I have connected NodeMCU with the laptop. Now we have to do some configuration in the software in order to do the programming for NodeMCU. So if you go to Tools, usually we choose board. So now here it is chosen like Arduino Uno, but I'm using NodeMCU. So I have to choose NodeMCU here. If you didn't use NodeMCU before, you have to go to boards manager and download the boards core files for NodeMCU. Actually, I assume that you all know how to do that, so I'm not going to show it here. If you don't know how to do it, just mention it in the comments so that we will reply to you how to do that. Don't worry about it. But now for the time being, I'm assuming that you all know how to do that. So I'm just choosing my NodeMCU 1.0 ESP12E module. That is a module I'm using. Okay, so I have to choose that board first in tools. Now my whole tools menu has changed. It has a lot of options. I don't need to change all these things. All I have to do is select port now. Now I have a port COM20. I'm choosing that port. So now everything is set. Now one more thing is, you will have to download a library to use Blynk platform with NodeMCU. If you want to download that, what you can do is you can go to tools, manage libraries. This is the library manager. So it's updating list of installed library. Okay, now it's ready. So here you can search for Blynk. This is the first option. This is what we want actually. I have already installed it. If you didn't install it, you can simply search Blynk, then you will get this Blynk by, okay, hope you can read it. So that is what we want actually. Build a smartphone app for your project in minutes. Okay, this is what we want. So I have already installed it. Just install a new version. Now it shows like version 0.610, so you can install that. Okay, I have already installed it. Now I'm closing it. So we need that library. That is very important. Now let's move into the programming part. First of all, we need to include that Blynk library and a library called ESP8266 Wi-Fi.h to the program. That is what I'm going to do first. First I'm including hash include ESP8266 Y I is small, F is capital, I is small dot H. Okay, this is an important library which will help our NodeMCU to get connected with the Wi-Fi. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, if you want to connect your NodeMCU with the Wi-Fi, we need this. Okay, this is important. Now I'm going to include one more library file to my program. Include, that one is Blynk, B is capital, simple, S is capital, ESP, E is capital, 8266.h. This is another library we want in order to use the Blynk platform with our NodeMCU. Okay, Blynk simple ESP8266.h. So after including this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type something like this: char auth Okay, here you have to type your auth code. Okay, your auth code. So this means literally I am creating a character array. Okay, hope you know what is a character array. This is to store, or simply speaking, this is to store your authentication code in the program. Okay, I'm creating a space called auth, which is a character type, in order to store my authentication code. And my authentication code is this. Okay, so you have to create something like this in order to store your authentication code. Then after this, we are going to connect our NodeMCU to a Wi-Fi modem. So whenever you connect a device to your Wi-Fi modem, there are two things you should know. One is the username, one is the password. So I'm creating another space, just like we did it in the case of authentication code. This name is SSID. SSID means nothing but the username of your Wi-Fi. Here my Wi-Fi's username is Srishti Robotics semicolon. Now I have to create a space to store my password, which is this. So I have created a space to store my authentication code, and I have stored it like this. Okay, this syntax is very important. Okay, you have to write everything in between these double quotes. Hope you know that how to create. This is called a character array actually. So I have created a space called SSID to store my username of the Wi-Fi. I have created a space to store my password. The space name is pass. You can give actually any name you want. Instead of auth, you can give anything. Okay, just secret code or something. You can type anything, no problem. For the time being, I'm giving it like auth only. Here also you can change the names into anything, no problem at all. So now I'm moving into my void setup. So these are the things I needed. I need above void setup. These are very important. Okay, make sure that you're typing everything correct. If you're leaving a space here, it's a very big problem. It's not going to work. Okay, so in void setup, what I have to write is something called serial.begin. I'm writing serial.begin. I believe you all know what a serial.begin is, so I'm not explaining it. So the next is blynk.begin. And in here, inside blynk.begin, inside these brackets, I have to give 3 arguments. The first one is auth, and the second one is SSID. Third one is password. See, here I have written same names that I have given here. Okay, so that is very important. I have stored my auth code inside this space, so I'm giving that name as the first argument, and I have given Srishti Robotics, that is my username of the Wi-Fi. So I have stored it inside SSID. I have given that name here as the second argument, and just like that, password as the third argument. So that is what blynk.begin is. So after this, in void loop, I'm going to void loop. So in void loop, I have to type something called blynk.run. Okay, so this is it. This is a program, very simple. I don't need to do anything else here, like digital write or digital read, anything related to Arduino. Nothing is needed, because Blynk is, I have already configured everything inside Blynk, which pin, which LED and all. So Blynk is going to control everything in NodeMCU right now. So after this, what I can do is I can just verify the whole program I have written. If you want to save it, you can save it. I'm not saving it. So I'm verifying. So done compiling. Now I can upload program. Upload. So it's uploading. You can see a few things going on here. Now done uploading. So I have successfully added the program inside NodeMCU. We have configured the Blynk platform. So we are going to set up Ifttt platform now. We have already configured Blynk platform in a nice way. Now let's go to Ifttt. So I'm searching Ifttt in Google. So this is what we want, okay? Everything works better together, Ifttt. So this is how the home screen looks like. Now we have to sign up. So I'm tapping on sign up. Now I'm going to continue with Google option. I'm going with continue with Google option because I'm using my assistant service. I'm using my Google Assistant to turn on, turn off devices. So here also I need the same Google account which my assistant uses. So it is very important. Okay, whichever the account your Google Assistant uses in your mobile phone, you have to sign up or sign in with the same Google account. So mine is, yes, already there. Mine is JitinCV383. So my password. Okay, now I'm in. So this is it. Now you can see this icon on the top right. Okay, if you tap on that, that's our account. Okay, I didn't put a photo, that is why it's showing like that. So in here I have to choose something called create. So this is what Ifttt is. If this then that. So we have to configure two things here. What is this and what is that? So first I'm going to configure this. Okay, I'm clicking on this. Here I have to choose a service. So what I'm going to do is, if I'm speaking to my Google Assistant to turn on a device, so this means that service, meaning Google Assistant. So I'm choosing Google Assistant here, and in here there are 4 options. Choose a simple phrase, phrase with a number, phrase with a text ingredient and all. I'm choosing simple phrase option, okay, the first one. So here, what do you want to say? I want to say turn on red light. And this thing is optional. You can choose 2 extra ways here. So I'm not configuring it. If you want to configure it, you can choose 2 extra way to turn on the red LED. But I'm not doing that. Next, what do you want assistant to say in response? I want my assistant to say turning on red light. So language is English, create trigger. Now I have to choose that. Okay, I have configured then, meaning this. I have configured this. That is my Google Assistant service, and I have did whatever I want. And now if I'm saying that using my Google Assistant, what to happen? That is what I have to configure here. So I'm clicking on that. Here I have to look for something called webhooks. Okay, webhooks. Okay, and choose make a web request. Meaning whenever I say turn on red light, Ifttt is going to connect with another website. Okay, so that website's URL I have to give here. Okay, that means in this project it's Blynk. So I have this URL here in my notepad, so I'm copying it and I'm pasting it in here. I'll explain it. So this, it has main three parts. Okay, main three parts. So this one is the server address of our Blynk platform. Okay, you don't need to do anything with it. Okay, don't change it. Okay, this is a server address of Blynk, and here this should be your project's auth code. Okay, so you cannot write it like auth token. You have to write whatever the auth token you got when you created the project. So my auth token is this. I have pasted it in here, so I'm copying it and I'm pasting it here. So I have my auth code, and the last part is pin. Okay, here you have to choose the pin number. Here this one is for turning on red LED. I have connected my red LED to my D2. Okay, I have connected my red LED to D2, so I cannot actually type like D2 here. Okay, if you type D2 like this, it's not going to work. So what you have to do is I'm going to a new tab and I'm searching for something like NodeMCU pin map. Then you will get image results like this. You can choose this any image. Okay, here you can see actually D0 is GPIO 16. So what I have to do is, if I'm using D0, I have to write 16, not D0. So here I'm choosing D2 because my red LED is connected to D2. So my GPIO pin is actually 4. So what I have to write is, I have to write something called D4 instead of D2. So this is the correct method. Okay, if you type D2, it's not going to work. Just take a pin map like this from Google and it will be written like GPIO 4. So actually your D2 in NodeMCU is D4 here. Okay, so that's it. Now next, the method is not get, it is actually put. And content type you have to choose application by JSON. And body, this is to turn on red light or red LED. So I have to type something like this. Okay, this format is very important. Okay, if you are not following this, it's not going to work. So double quotes, okay, brackets and all. So if you want to turn on, it is 1. If you want to turn off, it is 0. Okay, here I want to turn it on. So that's it. I have configured URL, put, content type is application JSON, and body 1. So create action. So finish. Okay, so that is all right. Now like this, I have to create turn off red light and turn on green light, turn off green light, turn on yellow light, all those things. Okay, so I'm going to create it. So we have created all turn on, turn off commands for all 3 LEDs. So if you want to see it, what we have created, you can tap here, you can go to my applets, and you can see all 6 things we have created. Turn off green, turn on green, turn off yellow, turn on yellow, turn off red, turn on red. So these are the things we have created. If you want to do any edits on any of these things, just tap on it, then go to settings. Like this you can edit everything, okay? And if you want to delete it also, you can delete it. If you are making any changes, just save it again. So that's it. That's how we configure Ifttt. Now there is nothing else to do in this platform. We have configured everything. Now when you talk to your Google Assistant, it's going to connect it with the Ifttt platform, and Ifttt is going to connect with Blynk so that we can control NodeMCU. Hey Google, turn on red light.
Turning on red light.
Hey Google, turn on yellow light.
Turning on yellow light.
Hey Google, turn on green light.
Turning on green light.
Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like the video, put a like and subscribe the channel for more videos. Hey Google, turn off all lights.
Turning off all lights.